Hey guys, it is Sat Chat time. Let me just, you can see my, you can see the foam stuff that's on my wall. And I've tightened this up so much I can't turn it. There we go. Sat Chat time. How's it going, guys? I'm doing pretty well. I just finished up filming a card making tutorial. Yeah, so I'll go like a month without doing any card making tutorials, but when I do, boy, you're gonna get like 18 cards. I have no idea how long it is. I've been working on it like a little bit every day all week. It's actually been really fun. When I first started, I'm actually using the, I can show you actually because I don't think I put it away yet. This room is such a mess. I'm using the set of stamps and dies that came in the magazine that I was published in because you guys are so sweet. So many of you told me that you found the book, found the magazine at Joann's, or found it at Barnes & Noble, or found it at BAM, or ordered it online and you bought it. I'm like, well, I better do some projects with the stamps that come with this, so just be extra fun. And it's always fun to work with something that you know a lot of people have. So I will, let's see, that video will probably come out next week, maybe Tuesday or Thursday. No, either Tuesday or Friday. I will link to that magazine down below. Humble brag, I guess. I don't know. No, what would you, shameless promotion. They did an article on me in that magazine anyway. That was the free stamps that came with it. I didn't design them. They're just fantastic, and did a bunch of cards with them. And I got to use up a bunch of leftover stuff, which is really fun, I find, because I'd gone through my card making cart, made a big mess. I had like everything strewn around, but like it's kind of fun to go through and see, because I always like have leftovers, because I tend to do batches of cards. I rarely will just make a card. I usually make a batch of cards, and I prefer to, when I'm doing a card making tutorial, actually I prefer it because you prefer it, I'll actually make up a card and then I'll turn the camera on, then I'll film making the card, so I'm not really disorganized. Hopefully it's a little bit more conversational rather than just voicing over at the end. So gosh, I just and ums all day. I don't know why, sorry. There I go again. But anyway, the entire video is live narrated, so I think it will be pretty conversational, fun. Turn it on in the background when you're making your cards, or watch for the tutorial if you're using those stamps. But I found that I was just going after a lot of odds and ends that I had. And the thing that I like about that is when you use the odds and ends, the leftovers from past projects, the stuff you have in your stash from other unrelated craft projects, like maybe you knit and you have fibers, or maybe you sew and you have fabric, or maybe you have ribbons, or just other random stuff that you've picked up at yard sales or you've had in your stash forever. Adding those little bits and bobs to your projects make them look like you, and they make them not look like me or not look like all of the other card makers on the internet. And I think that's good. I think that card making is an art form, and it should look like you. It should look like you should put your work in it no matter what you are making, whether it's a card or scrapbook or a painting or a dress. It should reflect your personality. So I love projects like that. I hope you do too. That video will be coming up soon. Oh, and a little bit of housekeeping, another shameless plug. Well, is it a shameless plug? I don't even know. I'm so shameless, I don't even know. Amazon Prime Day is like the 21st and 22nd, which is like a day where Amazon puts a lot of things on sale, and all the different independent sellers on Amazon put things on sale. It's meant for people that have Amazon Prime to get extra good deals on stuff, but I do find that, because I actually signed up for a free trial of Prime. I generally don't have Prime, but I generally find there are, the deals are about the same, I think, whether you have Prime or not. But anyway, I have been updating my influencer, doesn't that sound highfalutin, storefront. So if you want to check that out, I'll pull a link down in the video description. I've been pulling out stuff that has kind of like it was a really good deal when I put it in there, but then they jacked the price up, so it's not a good deal anymore. So I've been like pulling out that junk and putting in the stuff that I found, the kind of my favorites, and stuff that I think is a really good buy if you're looking for those types of products. So I've been working on updating that. So if you are planning on doing some Prime Day shopping, if you would love to check out, if you wouldn't mind checking out my Amazon storefront, or if you're going to do some shopping for stuff anyway, if you wouldn't mind clicking through one of my affiliate links, that would help out my channel a lot without costing you any extra money. So just want to put that out there, shameless plug. Or, if you have another YouTuber you really love and you want to help them out when you're going to go shop on Amazon for stuff anyway, if you click on one of their affiliate links first, then that will help them out. So, rising tides, my friends. If you're going to buy stuff anyway, then hey, help a fellow creative person out, right? Oh gosh, that feels so shameless. I feel like I'm alms for the poor, alms for the poor. That's how I feel right now. Oh, so I did the, remember the gouache painting last week? I was telling you that the I did that gouache painting and it was flaking off and I was bummed because I really liked it. Well, several of you suggested, hey Lindsay, why don't you pour some resin on it? Can you do that? And I'm like, well, I'll give it a try. Why not? So I did. And that video is actually up. This is so cool. Look how shiny it is. You guys can see a reflection on that. Isn't that cool? It's like shiny. It's crazy. It's really nice. It's really nice hard finish, super shiny. And for those of you that were concerned, because I was breathing on it to pop the bubbles, that's what it says to do in the resin packaging, like the stuff that comes in the instructions. So it does say breathe on your project to get the bubbles out. It wasn't like gassing myself. This stuff doesn't even really smell like it doesn't smell like the polyester resin that I've used in the past that I bought because it was cheaper. That stuff reeks. This stuff doesn't smell at all. This was Envirotex Light, but that video is on my channel if you're curious about it. I mean, look, you can see like the reflection of my ring light there. It's like crazy. So that was really fun. And I want to thank you all for watching my watercolor tutorial of these birds on a wire. It was long and I was like, oh, nobody's gonna watch it. You guys watched it. It's probably been my best performing watercolor video in like the first 24 hours in like a year. So thank you so much, because it gets discouraging when you put stuff up there and it doesn't get watched. So when it does, it's just, you think like, yes, I'm doing something that people like, yay. What else? Oh, I'm going to the movies, so I'm kind of excited. So it is 5:37 right now, and in about 20 minutes, we are going to leave to go to the movies. We're going to go see A Quiet Place 2. Haven't been to the movies since before the pandemic. We did go to the drive-in once or twice last summer, because that's outside and you're in your own car and it's, it's good and safe. But this will be the first time back to the movie theater and I am here for it. I am excited. I don't think I've been this excited to go to the movies ever. Like, well, maybe when like Lord of the Rings came out, that was pretty exciting. But, yeah, I have not, and it's not, I mean, I did like the first Quiet Place movie. It's very, very thriller, very suspenseful, if you like suspenseful movies. We saw that at the theater too, but I'm really looking forward to going to the movie theater and having I haven't even had dinner. I'm gonna have a big bowl or a big thing of popcorn and a Diet Coke for supper. That's gonna be I am so ready for that. The things you take for granted when you can't, when you can do them, and then I didn't even think I really missed going to the movies either, but it's like, yeah, I want to go to the movies, I want to have popcorn, I want to just check out for an hour and a half, have like the fantasy, well, it's not really fantasy land, who wants to live in some place where monsters are chasing you, but still, just the whole, just, what do you call it? Not, what do you call it? Like escapism, maybe? Escaping to a very scary place, but I'm looking forward to that. And what else did we do this week? We reviewed another novelty watercolor palette. There's so many. They just keep coming. Luckily, they're pretty decent, but what else? I don't know. We had our last Ask a Crafter for a while. I'll probably revive it a bit in a couple months. Maybe I'll see if I'd love to see if Lorraine and Kathy were free to do some. Of course, I shouldn't say this in the public. I should ask them. Before I'm like, hey guys, I'll just ask you in front of 1 million people. That would be fun. That would be fun. I don't feel like I haven't had anyone over here to craft for a long time. It would be fun. It'd be fun in this new space too. But yeah, that would be fun. I like to take breaks though, because the questions do get kind of repetitive after a while. So it's kind of nice to let some time pass and then get a new crop of questions. But that was fun. It was fun to do that. So I really don't have anything scheduled ahead of time right now. I don't have Sketchbook Sunday done. I think I'll probably do a sketchbook tour, because when I was cleaning the, which it needs a clean again, because making cards makes such a mess. I make such a mess when I make cards. A painting, no mess, hardly any mess. Just wipe things down, you're good to go. But when I make cards, you'd think that like the FBI was rifling around my belongings looking for some evidence, because there are like drawers open, there's stuff strewn everywhere, there's like such random supplies, there's like bits of like torn and die cut and like confetti paper everywhere. It's just like, it's comical. It's so crazy just for like one card. That's why I make 18 cards at a time, because I know I'm gonna have the same mess whether I make one or whether I make 18. So I might as well just make a humongous amount. If I was smart, I would film into separate videos so I could have like 4 videos out of my huge mess, but instead I just do one like big workshop. But it's fun. It's fun to do those, I think. Anyway, where was I? I totally forgot. Oh, I don't have any things like filmed in advance right now. I have like a brush review. It's very, do I have some of the brushes out? It's actually just, it's kind of, I've been using these brushes. I used it in the gouache painting and I used them in last week's watercolor painting, and I've just kind of like just played with them a bit. They're very inexpensive. I consider them very inexpensive, about $1 a brush. This set here, I'm not too crazy about brush rolls, but it does come with a brush roll and a palette knife, and I think 23 brushes. They're decent. And anyway, I have a review for those coming out Monday. It's a really short review because, you know, you can watch the videos and see them in action. I just did a few little, like, quick little demos and tell you what I thought about them and who they'd be good for. They're decent. I mean, they're kind of like nothing to write home about, but if you need some brushes and you don't have a lot of money, they will get the job done, and they're pretty decent for the price. But I guess you don't need to watch that review now because I just like consolidated it into like, really that video should have been 15 seconds long, so I just consolidated it into that. Oh boy. Oh, you know what? I'm planning on doing some colored pencil stuff coming up, and I've been meaning to try this. I've wanted to try this for probably about a year. I saw an ad on Instagram, and this is a ceramic like X-Acto knife. It's called a Slice. I don't know who makes it. A Slice, I guess. And it's a little ceramic blade, but the reason that I wanted to get this is not for cutting stuff, but for doing details like whiskers and fur and hair and eyelashes and stuff like that on colored pencil. And I've been meaning to look these up. They're kind of pricey. I think I paid about $10 for this. I've been meaning to look them, maybe it was more, maybe I would say between $10 and $14 maybe on Amazon. So if you're at Prime shopping, I'll try to remember to link it up. I have not used it yet, so I can't vouch for it. So it's not in my Amazon shop yet. But, and by Amazon shop, all that is, it's like, if you have like a YouTube channel or a blog or something, and the powers that be at Amazon say you can, then you can have this page where you put things you recommend. That's all it is. I don't have like a shop where I'm mailing you things. It's all Amazon. But I was curious about this because I've scraped on watercolor paintings and on colored pencils before with an X-Acto knife, and I'm always afraid I'm going to ruin or damage the paper. But this is supposed to just take off the pencil and not like slice through the paper. So I'm really curious about it. And then Harry at the Art Gear Guy did a review on these, and I'm like, yeah, I really want to check that out. So that was kind of what pushed me over the edge. I haven't tried it yet, but I do want to give this a try, and I've got a couple sets of colored pencils that I need to finish reviews on. Actually, one I bought, it was the Deli pencils. They're pretty popular in China. They're kind of one of the better brands that they sell for domestic use, and they've actually just come over to the United States within the last year, I think, under the Starjoy brand. Now, there's two different Starjoys. There is the Deli, and then there's some other one that's made from another manufacturer. So I got the 72 set, which is the Deli pencils. So I'm going to be doing a review on those. Not this week. It'll take a couple weeks to get that one done. And I've been working on the Pro Color, the Derwent Pro Color review, which I haven't got too far in there, but that one's I've got that one a little further ahead. I really am curious about using the knife tool on that because I think that would be really nice, especially if I'm going to spend a lot of time on an illustration. Pro Colors are meant for reproduction, and I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, eventually in my kind of art career, I plan on transitioning from teaching to illustrating, and that's like probably 10 or 15 years in the future. My journey, I think, is going to be online instruction for the next few years, and then switching over to online instruction, well, keeping some of the online instruction, then doing classes in my studio in person, and then transitioning off to illustration, because I think teaching demands a lot more energy. Oh, I did some teaching. I was so excited. It's the first time I've been in a classroom since the pandemic started, and I did an art room for project graduation, for my son's graduation. I volunteered for that. It was so fun. These kids were so good. I'm telling you what, they left their palettes and their brushes cleaner than any of my adult students. So if you've been in one of my classes, I'm sorry, these kids got you beat. The brushes were clean, the palettes were wiped down, their place was clean. They were great. They were great kids. I think they were just so darn happy that they had project graduation after like a year and a half of not being able to do much stuff. So it was great to see them have a good time. It was fun to be a part of it. Those parents, man, some parents were there until like the whole night till 5 in the morning. I wasn't. The art room was only like a 3-hour thing, so I came early to help decorate, and then did the art room, and then packed my stuff up and left because they were doing karaoke in that room afterwards. But it was nice to be in a room with students again because I didn't realize how much I missed it. So it was fun. We did some watercolor sunsets, and then, or they could do their own thing. I kind of planned a easy project, so if you know, if you've never painted before and you just want to try it out, then you can, and if you had your own ideas, you could do your own thing. So that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. My son graduated last Saturday, beautiful ceremony. I got some pictures. I didn't get a ton of pictures. It was very chaotic and very sunny, but yeah, I did get some good ones. He got some good ones too. Between everybody that had their cameras, I think I can hobble together some decent scrapbook pages and pictures for my parents. And there was a photographer there that was taking a picture when they stopped to grab their diploma, so I'll order some photos there too. So many photos. This has been a very photo-heavy month, I guess, or yeah, probably the last 30 days, 2 proms and a graduation. I'm loving it though. I haven't scrapbooked in a while. I actually was walking the dog a couple weeks ago, and I had the idea for this awesome scrapbook page using some stuff that I've had in my stash forever. I had this little plaque that has like a ski slope on it that looks like a vintage ski resort poster, and then I've got some of that die cut felt, the old Queen and Company die cut felt that's all like snowflakes and stuff, and I've got a couple pictures of Maisie and her boyfriend like on the chairlift at the ski mountain. Can't remember which ski mountain they went to, but like I've never skied. That's the one thing, bucket list next year, I'm gonna try to learn how to downhill ski. I'll either learn to downhill ski or I might have a broken leg. I don't know. You succeed or you learn, right? You succeed or you learn. I'm really hoping that my art mantra will translate to skiing because I want to learn how to downhill ski. Jason says he will downhill ski with me because he's done that before. And I also want to start playing tennis. And what's the other thing? Oh, I'm thinking about yoga. I've never really been like drawn to yoga and things like that, but I need something for muscle strength, muscle tone. I want to do something that's going to be, you know, muscly, and I'm not one to sit down and lift dumbbells or, you know, use a weight machine or do any of that business. I am more of like a cardio person, but I need to do something that's kind of fun. Like a class is really good for me. So LL Bean is sponsoring this yoga in the park thing on Fridays, and I don't know if it's Fridays everywhere, but it's all over the state of Maine, and they sponsor these yoga classes, these free yoga classes, and so I have booked tickets for, I was looking online, it looks like it starts July 2nd. My friend who's really into yoga says that it's actually starting this week, but Friday afternoon, it'd be like right now if that's the case, but I couldn't see that. It just looked like July 2nd is when it was starting, so either they're all full for those earlier courses or what, but anyway, I booked tickets for the one on the 2nd, and I'm going to give it a try, and it's outdoors, and I love to be outdoors in the sun and the hot weather, so I'm hoping that I like it. I think if there's instruction so I don't get bored, then I'll be good. I've tried doing yoga. I don't know. I've taken a class here or there, but it's never really stuck. But I'm hoping that I think that just being out with people, it'll be fun. You know, maybe some of my friends will want to go, and, you know, maybe my girls will want to go. I don't know. Just being outside in the fresh air with people. I think people need people, friends. We really do. We're the luckiest people, as Barbara Streisand would say. Oh, what else? I'm trying to think. I didn't have a plan. I actually just turned on the camera because I didn't know if I'd have time to film the Sat Chat before we went to the movies, because movie's at 6:40, and you know, we're out in the country and the theater's in the city, the big city of Bangor, Maine. So, you know, we're gonna need like half an hour to drive out there and get our buckets of popcorn and take out a loan to buy the popcorn. I don't even know. I can't even imagine. It's probably worse. Popcorn prices are probably worse since the pandemic began, but all the money we've saved not buying popcorn in the last, I don't know. But anyway, I didn't know if I'd have time to film this before we left because I had just wrapped up the cards. I didn't even get a chance to clean. I did pick up a few things, but it's still pretty messy. I'll have to tidy up this weekend. So I didn't really think about what I was going to talk about. I'm just like, I've got time to film a Snapchat. I got to talk to my people. Or it'll be Lindsay at, 10 o'clock at night, which is going to be much less energetic Lindsay because Lindsay gets tie-tie at about 10 o'clock at night. I am ready to saw some logs that time of night because I'm an early bird. But, I did a YouTube short this week about thread. Because, and I did get a lot of people telling me what for storing my thread out in the air. But you know what? I like having my thread on a thread rack on the wall. They make thread racks for people to store their thread on. So, it can't be that crazy that I store my thread on a thread rack on the wall. It's so easy for me to grab my thread and go to my sewing machine and sew. And I also got some people suggesting not to keep your sewing machine out all the time because then you're wasting that space. But my sewing machine is not in my work area. It's over there in the storage area, so having it set up, I used it on 3 cards today. I'm always mending things, so even though I'm not sewing like a dress, having the sewing machine set up means I can, the dog chews up a dog toy, I can go, sew it up so she doesn't completely unstuff it and she can play with it a little bit longer. She's so hard on dog toys. I mend clothes. I'm always, stitching on something, so it's really handy to have it up. It's also really handy to have my threads out there. But anyways, the YouTube short that I did was on how to dust your thread because the thread does get dusty. Although, to be fair, I've never dusted it, and it was up in my bedroom for a couple of years before it came down here, and it's been down here for a year, so I haven't had any fading or anything. Of course, it wouldn't fade in here because the lights aren't strong enough. But upstairs, it wasn't like, it was next to a window, but the window, light was coming in and it was on the same wall as the window, so I didn't have any fading problems, so but thank you for your concern. But I think my thread is fine. I haven't had any breakage or dust in my machine issues. I do clean and oil my machine when you should, fairly regularly, once a year. I don't know. How long do you do that? How often? I don't know. But I think that's pretty good. I don't know. You don't hear people talking about it, so that's what I assume. I just, changing the thread, take out the bobbin mechanism, little paintbrush go in there, clean out the dust. Usually not too bad. Yes, I talk fast. I know there'll be some comments. I actually have the word fast talking as like what is it? As a word, a phrase for the YouTube spam filter to catch because people are crabbing at me about talking fast. I'll wipe those comments right up before I see them. So there's some self-care tip, YouTube creators. If somebody always complains about something you do, type those words in the little spam filter that you can set up in your YouTube studio, and it'll pull those comments into be, approved. You have to approve them. But then sometimes it pulls comments that are totally fine, and then I don't see them for weeks, and then I go to approve them, and by that time the person's forgot they left a comment, and that's too bad, but it will save your mental health a little bit. Speaking of mental health, I've been spending a lot of time outdoors. It's been great working on my tan. Well, not laying in the sun working on my tan, but just being out, walking the dog, swimming, kayaking, that sort of thing. That's been really restorative. Reading outside, that's something I love to do. Just like to read outside. And I've been giving myself permission to do that because it's a summer and summer is so short. So I wish I could bottle some of these days. Wouldn't it be great if you could just take a couple days in July and stuff them in a bottle and then open them up in January and February just to kind of get you through the winter. Wouldn't that be great? It would be wonderful. It reminds me of this story that I never read, but I heard about it. I think it was by Ray Bradbury. It was a science fiction story, and I think it was called All Summer in a Day, and there was this planet where it was only sunny. The sun only came out once a year, or maybe even once every 10 years, and these kids were playing, and they locked one of the kids in this cupboard, and then the sun came out and the kids forgot that they had locked that girl in the cupboard, and they went out to play and they played all day in the sun and that girl was in the cupboard, and then they remembered after the sun went down that, oh my gosh, we locked her in that cupboard, and they felt so bad, and they went to let her out, and she missed the only day of sunshine, the only day of summer. And I'm like, oh, that just breaks my heart. It also makes me think about that Doctor Who episode where the guy, I don't know if he was a deranged scientist or something, but he had this, the love of his life only had a month to live, but he had this contraption where he could freeze her, and she would stay in suspension. So he would one day a year, he would go and let her out of that time capsule or whatever, the suspension. I think he would spend time with her, and so he's aging and she's staying young, so she's 20 and he's 85 or something like that, and she had 2 days left or something like that, and some stuff like that. I don't know, that's the sort of thing that that like gets to me. It's like, if you knew how many days you had left, how would you spend your time? And I've been thinking about that with my craft supplies. I was thinking, wouldn't it be neat to know if you could put like a ticker on like your colored pencils or your watercolors, your markers, especially things that would not just dry up and wear out. If you could put like a counter on them, and it would tell you like if you painted, how many hours of painting you would have out of that watercolor set. So if you could like group all of your watercolors together, and it would say you have like 1,200,000 hours of painting from these or something like that, and then you could actually physically see if you will outlive your supplies, you know, if you could paint enough to use it up before you die. I think that would be very morbid, but interesting in the same respect. Of course, you know, it'd be no way to do it perfectly, because like there's some colors you'd run out of first and you have to replenish. But like if you never bought another thing, could you create at the pace you're creating until you die? And you might realize that you have like 4 lifetimes worth of supplies, and that would be seriously motivating to light a fire on you to make you create more, because it's like, oh my gosh, I have all of this. It's going to be sold in an estate sale for 5 cents after I die. I need to use it now. You know, it would be really inspiring, I think. So this, boy, little brain soup that I have going on, I think that would be so interesting to know though. And I bring that up to friends and they're like, no, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Like, I want to know. I'm just curious about those things. But that's pretty much it. I have not filmed the Sketchbook Sunday. Like I said, I think I'm going to do a sketchbook tour. So if you're curious about that, then tune in tomorrow for that. And oh, happy Father's Day for all the dads out there. Hope you have something fun planned, whether it is something to rejuvenate your spirit, as in maybe some time with your family, some time with your kids, your grandkids, maybe some time in solitude, whatever it is. I hope you have a wonderful Father's Day. And I hope that everyone who has a father celebrates them. So I'll be going down to see my dad on Father's Day, and that will be nice. We're going to celebrate Father's Day on Saturday for Jason, because the kids actually have something they'd already planned on Father's Day. So that'll be good. Probably go out and have a good meal, and who knows what the kids have planned. They're all gainfully employed, by the way. I think that's very, it's so cool when your kids, like, they take initiative, they go get a job, they've got their, like, that little bit of independence, and it just makes me proud that, you know, they take that initiative and go off and seek their fortunes. So life is good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling positive. I hope you are too. And make the most of your day. Do something creative. Do something for you. Read something. Get out in the sun. Wear your sunscreen. and have an awesome weekend. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll try to remember to link everything I mentioned in the video description. I'll probably forget. By the way, the song parody did come out after Sat Chat last week. It was so much fun to do, and I'll link to that too in case you missed it last week. And that's it. It's not on my channel. It's on Shirley Serbin's channel. She's the one that wrote the song and did all the editing and stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.